So can we all accept?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So good day, everyone. I'm Chukwudipo Lobite from OCP Analytics. So today's class is on SPSS and Minitab. Today we'll be doing an introduction. You already have the course outline. Let me also send the course outline again. So we'll see the course outline that we'll be working with. So for this class, we'll be working with this course outline. We'll be working with this course outline. I want to send it to the chats. So we'll see it. So we'll be working with this course outline. So the first we'll be treating is maybe an overview of SPSS and Minitab. Then we'll learn how to define our variables and the rest. There's still a possibility that we can learn more than this. But for now, let's be working with this and see how far we can go. The one thing I would like is we have to be consistent. Then also, if I give you any tasks, any assignments, you have to do it. Very important. So if I give you any assignment, you have to do it so that we can all achieve the goal. It's not about making money, it's about knowledge. So if you attend this lecture and you don't go with the knowledge, it will be very bad. And for you to get the knowledge, you have to practice. That's why most times I don't allow people without a system to learn, except they are very sure that they can get a system to practice. So it's good to practice. So that after the lecture, even if you don't have a system, you look for a system to use and practice. So we can start now. I want to share my screen. Can we all see my screen? Yeah. So this is how how the SPSS interface looks like. We've started the class. So the first thing you have to know in SPSS is that it has two views. It has the data view. Are we seeing it? Are we seeing the data view? Yeah. Then the second, it has the variable view. Are we seeing the variable view? Yeah. Now let me differentiate between both. In data view, that's where you enter your data. You enter your data in data view, while you define the variables in variable view. You enter your data in data view, you define it in variable view. Now you have the option, you can either start from data view to write your data, to enter your data, or you can start from variable view. Now, if you start from data view, SPSS will give it the default variable description. But you can also decide to describe it first before you start entering it. So let me explain what I mean. If I enter 2 in the first column in data view and I go to the variable view, all these things, they are the default SPSS variable description. They are the default variable description. Chidra, can you hear me? Okay, they are the default variable description. But let me go back again. If I type R, SPSS will give it the default variable description. If you watch where the default that SPSS gave R is string. Why? When I type 2, it gave it what? Numeric. Now I can decide to, maybe before I enter any data, I can decide to name it first. Choose what I want. Choose what I want. Then before I start entering my data. So what I'm saying is that you can either enter your data first before you describe it, or you describe it before you enter your data. I think most people prefer describing their data, describing their variable before they enter. So let me delete all this. So let me describe before we enter. So let me describe. So let me say we want to create a name. The next one will be their sex. We can decide to do age. So now let's describe it. For name, what's the type? We know that name is not a quantitative variable. Rather, it's a qualitative variable. It's a categorical variable. You know, in statistics, we have data can be either qualitative or quantitative. Quantitative, we are talking about numbers, while qualitative, we are talking about characters. So the first variable name is name, and we know that name cannot be quantitative, so it cannot be numeric. So because it cannot be numeric, we are going to use string. Are we together? So the two things we are going to use majorly is numeric and string. When do we use string? We use string when we are talking about letters. When that variable has letters in it, has characters in it, we use string. Even if it has both numbers and letters, we use string. We only use numeric when we know that we're only dealing with numbers only. It has nothing to do with character. So the name here, we're talking about names of students, names of people. We know that we're talking about character, so we're going to use string. Sex, also, we're going to use string. Age, we're going to use what? Numeric. The next thing is the width, which talks about how many characters can you enter in that column. So if I have 8 here, it means I cannot enter a name that the spelling is more than 8. Like name like Lewandowski, that when you start spelling, you need up to 12, 11 characters. You can't enter them. So that means for me to do that, I have to increase the width. Are we following?
Yeah.
I have to increase the width so that I can be able to, you can increase it to any number you want. Sex cannot be more than 8, so I can leave it at 8. Age cannot be more than 8 characters, so I can leave it. If you watch for decimal, string, there is no option for decimal because you can't have decimal in character. You can only have decimal in what? Numeric. So it's asking, do you want decimal? For age, I don't want decimal because I want whole numbers for age. So I will take it to 0. I will take it to 0 because age, I want what? Whole numbers. I don't want 5.5. Are we following? If you leave it at 2 and you write age, I go back to the data view and do maybe age as 5. It will put 5.00. Why is it 0.00? Because of what? The decimal here is what? 2. I don't want it, so I will remove it. If I remove it and go back, it will be what? 5. So the next thing is value. This value, I will explain it later. But we just use this value for coding. That's what we use value for coding. Like, okay, let me explain it now. So example now, if I want to use, instead of me writing male, female every time, male, female every time, I can decide to code it. What I mean by when I decide to code it, I can say I want to use male as 0, female as 1. That's what we mean by coding. Are we following? Are we following? I can decide to use male as 0 and female as what? 1. So if you want to do that, then you come to sex and you come to value and do, whenever you see 0, you know that 0 means what? Male. You click what? Add. You go back. Whenever you see 1, 1 means what? Female. You click what? Add. Then okay. Then look at what I will do here. Let me go back to this sex now. I won't be writing male and female again. What I'll be writing is what? 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. If I'm doing this, then I have to change this. If I'm coding it, because I'm using 0 and 1, I have to change it from string to what? Numeric. Because I'm coding the sex. Are we following? I'm coding the sex. Now what I'm using is 0 and 1. 0 and 1, they are what? 0 and 1, they are numeric, right? 0, 1, they are numeric. I have to change it. But if you are not coding it, that means you want to be writing the male and female. It will be in what? String. But if you are coding it to 0, 1, because now you are changing it to alphabet, it will not be in what? Numeric. So let's go back to this. Now, if you want to check if what you are doing is correct, if what you coded is correct, this is what you click. Are we seeing this? Are we seeing this?
Yes, sir.
So if I click it now, it will change. Are we seeing it?
Come again.
So
Come
this is
again.
just to confirm that what I coded in the variable view, if what I coded in the variable view is correct. So you come here and check. Are we together? So,
Yes, sir.
so let's go back to our variable view. We now know what we use value for. Value is for what? Coding. Because you will get to some cases. Example, now if you are asked to enter data for in a questionnaire, it will be very tedious and irresponsible for you as a statistician to be writing subs, so sats, seats every time. As a statistician, you have to code them to what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we following? So it's not proper as a statistician to be using those characters. So when you are coding, you make use of your value and you change it to what? Numeric, even though we know that you are dealing with characters, but you change it to numeric because you are coding it. Then missing. You know, sometimes if you, example, now if you issue out questionnaire, there's a possibility that when the questionnaire will be returned, not all the questions will be answered. Some example, now if you ask some people their age, they may decide not to tell you, so they will skip that question. So you can decide to tell SPSS. Whenever you see anything like 999, know that it means missing value. So example, if I come to this place, instead of me write, I will write what? 999. That means the name of the Emeka didn't tell me sex. Are we following? 999. If you come back to here, SPSS know what 999 means. What's 999? Missing.
Missing data.
So this is how to enter, take note of missing values, so that when you want to do any analysis, SPSS will know how to treat those missing values. You can't just leave the cell blank. If you leave the cell blank, it's not proper. So you have to let SPSS know that you don't know the value. Now, there's a possibility that there are ways of you solving the problem of missing values, but that's not what we are treating. There are ways of solving missing values. So what we are doing now is to let SPSS know that those values are what? Missing values. The next thing is column. We'll not do anything with this. The next thing is alignment. Now, how do you want it? It's just how you want it to be. Aligned to the left means when you are writing, it will be at the left. Look at it. Look at where Emeka is. Emeka is aligned to the what? Left. If I want Emeka now to be aligned to the right, I will change this to right. Check where Emeka will be now. I see where Emeka has gone to. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. They are aligned to where? The right. If I want to change them to left, I will come back to here and change them to what? I'll come back to data view, variable view, and change them to what? Left. I see how the numbers have gone to. So all this one is arrangement. So let me take them to center if you want. They're in center now. So where is the age? Age is aligned to where?
Right.
To the right. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
A minute, please. Okay, let's continue. So the next thing is the last thing we're going to talk about here is major. That's the last thing we're going to talk about, major. So let me explain this. Now, if you are working with a numeric value, numeric means quantitative. You will change it to scale. You will change it to what? Scale. If you are working with a qualitative, you will use either nominal or ordinal. If you are working with a string qualitative, you work with either what? Nominal or ordinal. So what's the difference between nominal and ordinal? Let me explain. When we talk about ordinal, we know they are categorical or qualitative variables, but you cannot order them. Why in ordinal, you can order them? Examples. If I talk about rank of lecturers, Someone wants to join a minute. When we are talking, if we talk about the rank of lecturers, rank of lecturers, we know we can order them, right? We have
Yes, sir.
graduate assistants, we have lecturer 1, we have lecturer 2, we have senior lecturer, we have professor, we have associate professor. You can order them. So when you can order them, that's what? Under what? Ordinal. When you cannot order them, it's under what? Nominal. So now the first question now. Name is under what? Name is under what? What will I use?
Nominal.
Nominal, right? Because we can't order name. You can't tell me that because your name is Frank, your name is higher than my name, that's Paul, right? You can't order.
Yes, sir.
You can't order the courses you are offering. The courses you are offering is under what? Nominal. You can't order it. You can't say Mass 101 is higher than Chem 101. Or so you can't order them. Since you can order maybe rank of lecturers, grade in a score, we know that we can order grade, right? We know that A is higher than what? B, higher than C, higher than D. So we can order them. I'm just trying to know when someone wants to join so I can also admit them. So we are done with this. So the first step, what I'm teaching you now is how to label your data very well, your variables very well. Now, if you go online, sometimes they will be looking for people that are called data entry officer. I call what data entry officer. What's their work? Their work is just to enter data. And this is all they need to know. They need to know how to describe their variables, and start entering it. They are what? Data entry officers. So maybe after this class, you can go online and browse about data entry officers. So when they give you a questionnaire, they can give you a questionnaire. So let me look for a questionnaire, yeah? They give them a questionnaire. Let me check this. They give them a questionnaire. Okay, let's try this. Can we use this now to practice what I've taught you so far? I want to code this. So we'll call it coding. They call it coding in statistics. So most times when I do work for people, I collect separate money for coding. Are we following? I collect separate money for coding. So look at this now. The first thing here is what? Are we seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the first thing we have here is a senatorial zone. So let me delete all this. So the name of, then one thing you should know about the SPSS, a name, you don't give space. I say a name, you don't give what? You don't give space. So this place is senatorial zone. So look at what I will use underscore. I will use underscore. Then whenever you write something like this, where you use underscore, and you don't want this underscore to show in your final results, you have to come to label and write what you want to show in your result. What I want to show in my result is senatorial zone without underscore. Remember, in name, you can't give space. Remember, in name, you can't give space. But in label means you don't want what is in name to show. So whenever I write anything in label, whenever I bring out my results, it will always overwrite what is in name. Whenever I do any analysis, what will come out in my analysis will be the senatorial zone without the underscore. So essence of label is name doesn't allow space. But if you want space, or if you want something to show, you have to write it in your label. So that being said, so let's continue. So we have senatorial zone. Is it numeric or string?
Right.
Because I'm going to code it. I want to code it. So I will use what? No, it's string, right? Yes, correct. It's string, but I want to code it. So because I want to code it, I will use what? Numeric. Are we following? Then I will code. Yes, I will code Owerri as 0, or Lu as 1, or Kigwe as 2. So then I'll come to this value. I'll come to value and put 0 as what? Owere. I will click add. 1 as Olu. Add. 2 as Okigwe. Add. Okay. If you want to do missing value, you can say if there is missing value, I will write it as 999. Okay. What's the major? We can put it as is it ordinal or nominal? Or we can just leave it as scale. But normally it's nominal. It's a nominal variable. So we can leave it as nominal. So what's the second one? Marita. Because remember, you cannot give space. So what will you use? Underscore. Status. I want to code it. Because I want to code it, I will leave it as what? Numeric. Then I can write what I want to see in my results. Marita score. Value. 0 means single. 1 means what? Married. Okay. You can, most times I don't do anything on missing value. Can you order single married? No. So nominal. So that's how to do it. So you continue that way. Very simple, right?
My hand is up.
Eh? Look at it. Your own is what? What did you say?
My hand. I'm raising my hand.
Okay. Sorry, because I'm sharing my screen. That's why. I'm calling. Give me a minute. Okay, so you can ask your question now.
Please go back to the variable because network disturbs. I couldn't see what you did that place you entered the word.
Which side?
Yes, where you entered the word. That's just what you just finished now.
Okay.
Yes, the value is there.
Because I'm trying to code it. I'm coding over as 0, Olu as 1, or Okigwe as 2. So it's anytime I see Owere. What? Forget about the 0.0. It's because of this 2 decimal place. I can remove it.
Okay.
0. I can change it to 0. So it will be what? Look at this now. Are we seeing it? It's no longer 0.00. The same thing with this, no longer 0.00. Then remember, I told you you also have to confirm if what you entered is correct. So I can start with 1, 2. Then I will use this to check if are you seeing it? It means what I coded is correct. Now, like I told you, there are people they call data entry officer. This is their work. What's their work? To do what? To code. They code SPSS. So they can give them a questionnaire like this with many questions, and they will code it. When they code it, they're only just to code, or they may code and enter the data, and they pay them for that. That's all. They don't do any analysis. They just code and enter data. So like I told you, you can go online and browse about data entry officers. You can take your hands down so I will know when you raise your hand again. So like we can also check if this is correct. Let me show you something. If you watch what I typed, if I type 3, it will not work. It will not work. Why? Because I only coded 0 and 1. If I type 2, it will not also work. But if I type 1, it will work. If I type 0, it will work. Are you seeing it? What it's trying to tell me is that I've coded it, but I didn't tell SPSS what 3 and 2 mean. Look at what I only told SPSS what 0 and what 1 mean. So this is what we mean by describing your variables, which is the first thing you have to know. Then let me show you what I mean by. Let me explain this label very well. I told you that in name we can't give space, so we use underscore. So whenever, example, if I'm talking about age and I write age here, I don't need to write anything at label. Why? Because this age is what I want to see in my final results. The age doesn't have anything like underscore, so I don't need to write it again at label. Do you understand? So let me show you what I mean. I will explain what I want to do now, but I just want to show you the final result. Look at what you will see in the final result. I see you're not seeing the one with the underscore. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing what is showing the final result?
No.
Are you seeing this thing here?
No.
You're not seeing this. Are you seeing this?
I'm just
Is this okay? It's not showing where?
It's half screen.
Okay, is it half screen? Wow. Okay. Let me share again.
Okay.
Are you seeing my screen now? Is it still half screen?
No, it's normal. It's fine now.
Okay. So look at what is showing in the results. Senatorial zone, not with underscore. So I'm trying to explain why we write value. So the essence of that value is so that it will overwrite the name. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So what we show in your results will not be the name. What we show is what is in the value. So we can. Yes, Piru.
No verse, I beg.
No.
Network has been worrying me. Like, can you just tell me what you are doing so I can be following up?
No, what I'm just teaching, explaining is how to describe variables, how to describe your variables before you start work. So I said if it is if they are letters, you use string. Okay. But if they are numbers, you use numeric. So majorly these are the two things we use. But sometimes they can be string, like male and female, and you want to code it because you are coding it using 0, 1. You still use numeric.
Okay.
That's all. I've not gone far. We just started.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, welcome, boss. So let's continue. So
sorry, another thing is I think everybody should mute his or herself because we are hearing some background noise.
Okay, let me mute everyone from here. So can we mute ourselves?
It will be okay if only the teacher is showing his video so that there will be network. Because when everybody is showing his video, it will disturb the network, kind of.
There's nothing like that.
It may be true. It may be true.
Showing your video, there is no need of showing your video. You are seeing the teacher, you're seeing the dashboard, so that you're seeing the board. So there is no need of showing your video. It will interrupt the network. I'm pleading. I've been struggling to log in because of network issue. Go ahead.
Okay. So what I've done so far is to mute. Everybody's on mute now. So if you want to talk, all you have to do is to unmute yourself and talk, or you raise your hand and talk. So let's continue. So back to this. Hope you can see my screen. Yeah. So look at this. So look at let's go back to our course outline so that it will be a guide. So the first thing we have here is what? Overview of SPSS. And okay, what we've been doing so far is how to define your variables. So let me just give you the first one, an overview of SPSS and Minitab. Now, SPSS and Minitab, they do almost the same thing. SPSS and Minitab, they do almost the same thing. Though they have little differences, little. Now, there are some things you can... Yes, Peter.
Sorry. This SPSS and Minitab, is it the same software? I think it should be a different software. Like software for SPSS, then software for Minitab.
Yes, they have different software.
Okay, so after when we are through with SPSS, we'll now
No. We'll be doing both of them simultaneously.
Okay. Yeah,
So back to what I'm saying. So we have two softwares, SPSS and Minitab. Now we'll be doing both of them simultaneously. We'll know that we'll treat SPSS first and later treat Minitab. No, we'll be treating both of them simultaneously as we are going. So when we pick a topic, we'll just use both of them so that we'll be fast and be able to achieve what we want to achieve. That being said, like I said, both of them do the same thing. Now the difference is that there are some things you can see in few things you can see in SPSS you may not see in Minitab, and there are few things you can see in Minitab you may not see in SPSS. Like, let me explain. There's what we call normality test, which I will also teach you. In normality test, if you use SPSS to do normality test, so let me just show you an example. If you use SPSS to do normality test, it will only give you a plot. It will not give you p-value. It will only give you a plot. It will not give you p-value. But if I use Minitab, I'm trying to show you the difference, like little differences we have in SPSS and Minitab. If I use Minitab to do the same analysis, it will give me the same plot, but it will go ahead to give me what we call p-value, probability value, that is significant value that we can use to know whether to accept or reject the hypothesis. Now, SPSS will only limit me or restrict me to making my decision using the plot. So now, one thing I don't like making decision with plots, it depends on the person looking at it. I can look at it. Now, the decision is that if these values are aligned on this diagonal line, it means it's normally distributed. Now, Mr. A can look at it and say, wow, wonderful. Most of the points are close to the diagonal line. They are aligned on the diagonal line. But Mr. B can look at it and say, no, that from what I'm seeing, they are not aligned. So when we talk about plot, using plot to make a decision, most times it depends on the viewer's perspective. Like they say, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. You can look at something and say this thing is beautiful. Another person can look at it and say what is not beautiful. But if you are working with p-value, and p-value, you see 5, you know that 5 is always greater than 2, right? So no, it has nothing to do with your perspective. You can't come and tell me that based on what I'm seeing, 5 is less than 2. So that's why most times I prefer, for example, if I want to test for normality, I prefer using Minitab. Let me show you what I mean. So the same test, I'm doing the same test. Look at this now. It will give me the same plot. Are we seeing the same plot? But Minitab went ahead to give me what? P-value. Are we seeing it? Are we seeing it? SPSS only gave me what? Plot. No option for p-value. Why in Minitab I can make my decision using what? Both plots. I'm not teaching you normality now. What I'm teaching you is just an overview of what I'm explaining, just the little differences between SPSS and Minitab. So both of them do the same thing. If you watch where they plot, they are the same thing. Well, just that sometimes there are few things you will see in SPSS that you need. So when I'm doing analysis for people, I usually combine SPSS and Minitab. I don't focus on just one software. So except they tell me that use only a particular software. Even if they tell me use a particular software and I know that what I need is not in that software, I will just use the other software and complete it. But most of the work will be on the exact one they ask me to do. So there are times that what you need may not be in a particular software. So you have to look for an alternative. Okay, so then in Minitab, there's nothing like data view, variable view. Are we seeing it? There's nothing like data view, variable view. While in SPSS, there is data view and variable view. In Minitab, when you do analysis, the result will show here. While in SPSS, it has another environment called output. The result will show in the next environment. An output will pop up whenever I do any analysis. And now let me close this. So if I do any analysis in SPSS, the output environment will pop up. Are you seeing it? A new environment just popped up. Why in Minitab it will show here? Except if you are plotting a graph, that's when it will come out separately. But normally the result will show here. So back to SPSS. Both of them do similar thing. So you just then also it's just how you want your graph. Look at the graph in Minitab. I see the color. You may not like this color. You may prefer this color. Your choice. So most times the choice of your software depends on the color you want. SPSS will give you option to change the color also. If you want to change your color, you can change your color in SPSS. Are we seeing it? You see, I've changed the color. I will teach you all this later, though. Are you seeing I'm changing the color? Do you understand? So all these things, just both of them do the same thing and they give the same results. So it's just your preference, your choice, the color you want, how you want it. So back to SPSS. So we'll just go through this. So for under file, most of the things we are going to do will be under analyze. But let's just look at all these things first. This is what we're going to do. These just normal things that you know. Normal, there's nothing important, nothing really important here. Just if you want to open a new sheet, you want to save as, so that's all. The next thing is, yeah, you can see all your recently used files, all the recently used files, all the recently used data. The next thing is edit. Now, the only thing that we're going to use, okay, this insert case and insert variable, let me explain it. This is just normal copy, paste. Control Z is to go back to to undo something. Let me just explain these two things. The three things that we need to know here is this insert variable, insert case, but we use the shortcut. If after typing all these things, I know that I want to insert another variable in between this, I will just come to this. I'll come to this. I'll click age. I'll click age. Then right click and click insert variable. Are we together? As if I want to insert another variable here. We call this, all these things here, we call them variable. Why we call all these things case? We call all these numbers here cases, the case. So this is what? Case number 11. This variable what? Senatorial zone, variable marital status, variable age. These are called cases. So look at this. Now, if I click this now, what's the meaning of this? Case 11, variable what? Age. So that, look at the name here. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing it? If I click another one, yeah, means what? Case 19. Case 19, variable what? Marital status. So if I want to insert a new case here, I will click this. I'll click the number and right click, insert. I've inserted a new case. So that's what these are the two things I have explained. Then the next thing I want to explain here that we need is option. Let me explain something now. Look at how these data are, the variables are arranged. The first one is senatorial zone, marital status, age. They are not arranged in alphabetical order. If I want to do any analysis, any analysis I want to do. Forget about what I want to do now. Just I want to explain something. Look at how it is arranged here. Look at how it is not arranged in alphabetical order. It's not arranged. Look at how it's arranged. It's not arranged in alphabetical order. Are we seeing this thing? Are we seeing this? It's not arranged in alphabetical order. Now it is arranged the way it is here. It is arranged the way it is here. Now the essence of this now, if I have up to 200 variables and it's not arranged in alphabetical order, most times it may be difficult to locate a particular variable. If I have up to 200 variables, like variable 1, variable 2, variable 3 to 200, and they are not arranged in alphabetical order, and I'm looking for a particular variable when I want to do analysis, I come to this place, I want to do analysis. I'm looking for a variable and I have up to 200 variables here. And since it's not arranged in alphabetical order, it may be difficult to find. So most times it's advisable to set this so that it will be arranged in alphabetical order. So this is how to set it so that it will be arranged in alphabetical order. Like I believe yours is not arranged in alphabetical order. So if you want to set your own to be arranged in alphabetical order, you come to edit, you come to option, and you click, look at where it is now. Let me go back. You come to edit, option, alphabetical order. Then you click what? Apply. Okay. So that if I want to do any analysis now, you see it's arranged in alphabetical order now. Are we seeing it? So it's arranged in alphabetical order. So it will be very easy now to locate any variable. Let me use this data to explain better. So what I want to open now, we have many variables in this case. Are you seeing the variables? So in this case, if it is not arranged in alphabetical order, it will be difficult for you to locate a file. You have many variables here. So the easiest way for you to locate the variable that you want is to arrange it in alphabetical order. So if I come to this place and arrange it in alphabetical order, and I go to, if I want to do any analysis, if you watch where they are arranging what? Are you seeing that it's in alphabetical order? Are you seeing it? They are all in alphabetical order. So you can set your system. You go to edit, option, alphabetical order. So that's all for file and edit. The next one is view. There's nothing to learn in view. The next one is data. So what we are going to learn in data is we want to sort. So let's learn this. I've taught you this already. I've taught you this define variable properties using variable view. Using variable view. So that's the same thing as define variable properties. That's what we've been defining. You come to this place, you define it. You come to value, you define it. You come to label. So that's all we are doing in define variable property. So let's learn how to sort cases. We have two things here, sort cases and sort variables. Sort cases and what? Sort variables. What's the meaning of, if you want to sort variables, that means let me click sort variable. It will ask you, what do you want to use to sort it? I can decide is it based on the name? So that you arrange them in alphabetical order. Is it ascending or descending? You click OK. You go back. If you watch where age now is first, are you seeing it? I can go back to sort variable and click descending. Age will become the last. Are you seeing age is not the last? So that's all we have in, if you want to sort variable, you determine what you want to use to sort. You want to sort using missing value. The ones that have more missing value will come first. So you choose what you want to use to sort it. So most times when this sorting case and variable will be very important. Okay, let me use this now for an example. I have this data. Let me look for, I see that this, let me use a particular variable. Look at, let's use this variable now, V316. Are you seeing that V316 has missing values? Some of them are missing values. Some are not missing values. Now you can decide to, I want to sort this so that all the missing values will come first. And all the missing, all the main numbers will come last. You want all the missing values to be separated so that you can be able to delete them. Look at this variable, V316. The name of the variable is what? Year of start of use of method. So I want to sort it. I will come to data. In this case, I will do sort cases, not sort variable. Sort cases. The name of this variable is year of start. So year of start will be Y. So look at it here. It will ask me, do you want to sort it based on ascending or what? What's the name of that variable again? Year of start. Okay, V316. Okay, look at it as worked. So are you seeing that it has sorted it? All the missing values came first. So it sorted all the missing values first before the numbers. So this is how it is. Then also, let me explain when you use this. You know, one thing about all these statistical tools is to know it and to know when to use it. So let me use a school setting. Now you have a result of students, and you decide to sort it. You want to sort it in a way that all the people that got A's will come first, all the people that got B's will come next, and all the people that got C's. So let me go back to our normal data. Let's say we have something like this. I want to sort this now. I want to sort this. I want to sort this. Sort this now. Maybe based on, so that if you watch your night, it's scattered. Okigwe, Olu, Owere, Okigwe, Owere, Olu, Okigwe. So let me sort it. So I'll go to what? Data. Then I'll go to sort case. What I want to sort senatorial zone. It will ask you whether ascending or descending. Then look at this place. It will also ask you, do you want it to be on a new sheet? Or do you want to it to replace this existing sheet? I don't want a new sheet. I want it to be on the existing sheet. So I will not tick this. Are you seeing that it has sorted this? So if you are working in a company, they may give you a data set and you may be asked to sort it. So you'll be the one to know how to do it. They will not tell you. So I've been using, I think in my practical, two people, okay, 2 hands raised. Okay. In my practical example, I've seen that this is very important. I'm coming, I'll get back to you people. It's very important. There are times we have to sort cases. So you can ask your question. Oji, Goswi. Unmute yourself. Then.
The question is, you know, when you wanted to sort these cases, I've done that. When you wanted to sort these cases,
Yes.
you selected senatorial zone.
Yes.
You know, so I observe, because I've been asking myself that okay, if you highlight senatorial zone, does it mean it's only those those data in
Okay.
those cells. So it does every
That's a nice question.
entire row. Yeah.
Okay, let me explain it now. That's a nice question. So assuming we have a name of students, yeah, the name of the participant or the name of the subject.
Network. I have question like I don't know what to show you.
Okay. Look at this now. Look, I want to explain something. Name, name cannot be numeric, right? Name cannot be numeric, so I have to change it to what? String. So let me call it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Now look at this now. This is a case. What I mean by a case is that all these things belong to subject C. All these belong to subject G. So now if I'm sorting based on their age, it will also affect all these other ones. It will also affect a name. That means you must go with your name. Even though I'm sorting you based on your age, you must go along with your marital status. You must go along with your senatorial zone, and you must go along with your name. So let's try it now. Let's sort based on age and see if it will go along. Okay. Felicity, you came here with music. You are muted now. So let's continue. So I want to sort it based on age now, and it will go along with everything. So I'm sorting case. Let me reset. Sorry, to go back to the beginning. So I'm sorting based on age. I'm not saving on a new data set. I want it to overwrite what I currently have. So I'll click OK. Then I go back to my data. Are you seeing that I've sorted based on age? Are you seeing it? It's now in ascending order, but check the name. It also affected the name. Remember when I wrote as AB to what? To age, but it has affected it. It means that you will go with your marital status, you will go with your senatorial zone, you will go with your senatorial, and you will go with your name. So now you be the one to choose what you want to use to sort it, but the other variables will go along with it. So if I want to sort based on marital status now, each case or each subject will go with their age, senatorial zone, and name. Felicity, you're welcome. So Felicity, if you have a question, go to. So Felicity, if you have a question, go to reaction and raise your hand. Look at if you see this hand. So you go to reaction and raise your hand. Felicity, are you with us? She's not talking again. Okay, let's go back to, let me share my screen again. So we now understand Santos, you raised your hand. Any question?
No, sir, it was the same question I wanted to ask before.
Okay. So I've answered that. So let's go back to this. So we are done with sort cases and sort variable. Sort cases and sort variable. Let me use Davido. I see Davido gave money to less privilege recently. I know he uploaded the money on, like how we dispatch the money on Twitter. What they use Excel to sort it. If you watch where they sorted it based on state, they didn't sort it based on the name of the what is that in again? What motherless babies home. They didn't sort it based on the name. They sorted it based on states. So it means that all Abia states will be together. All Imo states will be together. I'm just trying to tell you that all these things are applied. It's not just for you to cram and just learn. One thing about all these things, you have to know how to use it. You have to learn how to use it. I'm not seeing this guy again. Okay, Shidera, okay, you are still with us. So you have to learn how to use. So what they did was they sorted it based on states. So all the states, all the motherless babies home in Abia State are together. All the motherless babies home in Imo State, they are together. So that's how it is. So if you are given a work, example now, you can be giving names of students in photo, and you'll be asked now to arrange them so that all the students in statistics will be together. All the students in mathematics will be together. All the students in geology will be together. So now you sort it based on what? Department. You can be given that same result and you are asked now to sort all the first class to be together. In that case, when you sort all the first class together, it means it's possible that you have first class from different departments. So all of them will still be in one group. So now you are sorting based on what? Their grade. You can be given, so just know how to sort cases and how to sort variables. So that's all for data. That's all we're going to learn for data. What you should know about SPSS, it has been programmed. So all the things there is not, you may not need all of them. Even when you do an analysis, it will bring out plenty different results. So what I normally do is, when it brings out plenty results, Felicity, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Unmute yourself. I can't. Unmute, local girl. Unmute yourself. Local girl. Let's continue.
Santos, I'll slap you.
So you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. That's great. Okay. So let's continue. Felicity, you didn't start with us. So I've muted you. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself so I can hear you. You are talking. Unmute yourself. What are you saying? You are saying something.
Okay, so I said that. So I don't know.
I said you came late. You came late. So what you do is after the training, you can go back to watch the first 1 hour.
Okay,
So
okay, sir.
Okay. So let's continue.
Sir.
I am mute yourself. Mute yourself.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue. So we are done with so the next thing we are going to learn is transform. So we are going to learn how to recode into same variables and how to recode. Okay, let's start with compute. So let's say you have a look at the age. Let's say we have 33, 45, 23, 19, 25, 31, 22, 27. Let's say these are the age of students. And let's say they want to join they want to start playing football and they don't want to use their actual age. So they want to reduce their age, football age, which is not good though, it's a sin. Though. So now they decided to reduce their age by 5. So now they want to reduce. So now you're asked now, what do you think will be their actual, the age they will be using now? So now I want to create a new variable. In that new variable, we'll subtract 5 from the age of all the subjects. So what we'll do is, you don't need to start doing 33 minus 5. That's 28. You don't have to do that. Example, now what if you have up to 5,000 cases? Please know the difference between case and variable. Case means all this. So what if you have from number 1 to 5,000 cases? So is it that you subtract it manually? So we have codes for all these things. So what's the code? You go to transform. You go to compute variable. They will ask you what's the new variable you want to create. I can do age, maybe age new. That means the new age, right? Because if I'm doing age new, I will go to label and change it. Age new. Remember the difference between these two? In name, you cannot give space for those coming now. So because you cannot give space, we use underscore. Then we can write the what we want to see, the name that we want to see in the final result. So we remove the underscore. Then to ask, is it numeric or string? Age is numeric, right? So I will leave it as numeric. Okay. So what do you want to do? I want to do their old previous age or their current age, subtract 5 from it. Look at subtract 5. Then you click what? Okay. So a new variable will be created. Are you seeing a new variable? A new variable will be created. Now, lecturers will use this a lot. Let's say you mark students, let's call a new variable exam score. Because of this underscore here, I can't write exam and give space and write score. So because of this underscore here, I have to write what I want to see in my final result, exam score. So let's say student wrote an exam and they were not performing well. This is over 70, and look at what they are getting. They are not performing well. So after looking at the result, you decide to moderate it. You want to moderate the results. So you want to add let's say you want to add, okay, I've seen your hand. I'm coming. You want to add 10 marks to all the students. I've seen your hand. You want to add 10 marks to all the students. So you come to transform, compute variable. The new variable you want to do is their new exam score. You click this. You can click new. What's the name? In label, you don't need to put underscore. It's still numeric. So what are you doing? You want to add from their exam score, you want to add 10 to all of them. So it will add 10 to all the students. We have other things you can do. You can do subtraction, you can do multiplication, you can do division. So a new variable will be created. So this is their new exam score. So if you watch, we're 23 plus 10, which is what, 33. So the essence of this now, because you'll be working with large data sets, and large data set, you can't be doing it manually. You need to write codes for it. You need to know how to do it. So you can ask your question now.
Okay, my question is, when you go under name to write for instance, the exam score and the new exam score, we still go to label to rewrite it, to write what we want. So what is the essence of the label, since this thing is still you can still see the underscore here on
in the final result.
variable.
This is your data, but anytime you are doing, look at this now.
The final result.
Look at this now. Let me do one analysis now on frequency. New exam score. Check it. Look at what we show in the. Are you seeing it? Did you see any underscore here?
Okay, I get it now.
Okay. So that's the essence of the label. So whenever you are doing any analysis, any results, the name with underscore will not show. So that's why the label is very important. So anytime you write anything at label, it will overwrite the existing one. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get.
Okay. So any other question? Peter, I hope you are still with us. Piro?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, boss. So back to this. So we are talking about compute. So compute is simple, right? So what do we use compute for? We use compute to create a new variable. And that new variable will be a function of the existing variables. So maybe you want to add, you want to subtract, you want to multiply, you want to divide. So compute is used to create a new variable, and that new variable will be a function of the existing variables. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? So no question, we can continue. So now let's,
Sir, I
any
have
question?
question.
Fire, ask your question. But that your music, can't you stop the music?
I'm in a business center, so it's not really business center. They are selling accessories, so I'm just using their
Okay, ask
shop.
your question, ask your question.
So I'm not understanding this place.
You're not, okay, you can mute now. Mute yourself. Okay, Felicity. So you said you're not understanding. Like I said, you missed the first 1 hour. So after the class, I will send you the link. You will still go and watch the first 1 hour. Then any question you have, I will still answer you. Then we'll still chat privately and I'll answer all your questions. But for now, still just be following us. I will still try to be doing revision as the best I can. But at the end of the training, you will still try to watch the first 1 hour, but I will still be doing revision. So just keep on following. So what we are trying to do now is compute. Let's say we have a data like this. Let me try to explain. We have a data like this. We want to create a new data. So example now, this is a real life scene. I've marked your script. I've marked your script. If you watch, we used to moderate result a lot. Like this 301, we moderated it. Or did you? Okay, we are yet to moderate it. Sorry. But 224, we moderated it. So we moderate results. So example now, let's say student wrote an exam. This is their score. This is their score. This one is their score. So after marking it, I discovered that they didn't perform well. So because they didn't perform well, I want to add 10 marks to all of them. I can't be doing it manually. Be coming here and be doing 23 plus 10, 32 plus 10. Do you understand? I can't do it manually. So since I can't do it manually, what will I do? I will come to transform, compute variable. Compute variable. Then you write the name of the new variable you want. The name of the new variable you want. What do you want to do? I want new exam score because I want to add 10 marks to them. So what do you want to do? I want to look at the existing. I will come to exam score. Look at the exam score. I will use this arrow. Okay, now let me explain now to everyone. There are different ways of doing this thing, even though this is not what I'm teaching now. You can either drag it, you can click and drag it. You can click and drag it, or you click it and use this arrow to send it. Are we learning? Either click, when you click it, you drag it to this place, or you click and use this arrow to send it, or you double click it. If I double click it, it will move. So how many ways? I've shown you 3 ways. What are the 3 ways? Double click, you click and drag, or you click and use the arrow. So what I want to do is this is their existing exam score. I want to add 10. So that's the meaning of this. Their exam score plus 10. Create a new variable. Call the new variable new exam score. Add 10 to all of them. Then when you click OK, a new variable will be created. Look at the new variable. If you watch well, it has added 10 to what? 23. It has added 10 to what? So after this class, I will give all of you assignment. I will give you a variable and ask you to add it. So the next thing we are going to learn is, okay, let me try to add more. Okay, let's do this. Let me add more, yeah. We have 65, 34, 78, 20, 32, 61, 72. Okay, now, so let's go to recode. The next one I want to learn now is recode into different variable. Recode into different variable. Let me explain it. Let me explain what we use this to do now. We have exam score, right? Most of the work we are going to do is in analyze, but we need to finish this transform. The major work we are going to do will be in analyze. So let's need this transform. So we are doing now recode into different variables. Let me explain when we use it. When do we use it? Now, example, if I have student score like the student scores, and you are asked now to grade it, can we grade it from 70 above, grade it A? From 60 to 69, grade it B. From 50 to 59, grade it C. So that's what we want to do. So look at the student exam scores. I want to grade it. So I will recode this my data into another variable. Now listen, if you recode into the same variable, it means you will lose your existing data. If I recode into this, it will start changing it on the actual data. It means I will not see the old data. So most times what I prefer, I always use recode into different variables. Why? Because if I recode into another variable, I will still have my old variable and have the new variable. Then recode into the same variable. You cannot recode a number to a letter, because now what we are talking is about grading it, to change, to recode from the score to grade. You can't do that using recode into same variable. Recode into same variable means you can only change number to number and letter to letter. But in recode into different variable, you can change number to letter and letter to number. So what are we doing now? We want to change number to letter, that is number to character. We know that from 39 downward is F. So let's do it. So this is how to do it. You go to transform, recode into different variables. Recode into different variables. What do you want to recode? That's what is asking you. You have three ways of doing this. Either you double click it, or you click it and drag, or you click it and use the arrow. What's the name of the new variable you want to create? The name of the new variable is the grade of students. Then Felicity, they don't give space in name. They don't give space in name. That's why I'm using underscore. They don't give space in name. Then anytime you are writing the name and you use underscore, come to label and write the actual name. Whenever you use a underscore, come to name and write the label and write the actual name. In label, you can write without giving space. Then anytime you do any analysis, it is what is in label that will show. So when do we use label? If you write name and you use underscore, because you cannot give space, always come to label and change it. Look at what I clicked. I clicked what? Change. Look at the name. So I want to recode the exam score to what? Grade of student. Let me start again. Let me reset it. Let me start all over. So you come to transform, recode into different variable. What I want to do is I want to grade this score to A, B, C, D. The exam score, you click it, drag. What's the new variable you want to create? Name of grade of students. Then because of the underscore, I will come to label and write the actual name. Then I will click change. Look at this now. If there's arrow here, you cannot continue. You must click change so that this question mark will go out. If I click change, this question mark will go out. Then I will come to old and new. I'll come to old and new. So this is where I will start working. Value means you want to change only a single value. Range means you want to change from a particular interval. Let's say 2 to 5. That's the meaning of range. Range lowest true means you want to change from a number less than. Range value through highest, you want to change from a number up. So example now, if I put this, it means 70 and what? Above. That's the meaning of this. So 70 and above. Look at this now. If I want to change it to letter, I must change it to string. Are we seeing this? Currently the output is in numeric. Felicity, what I mean by numeric is numbers. Because I'm talking about grades. Grades in SPSS we call grade character. that means later, alphabet, we call them strings. So because I'm changing them to grade, I will click what? String. So 70 and above, give the student what? A. Then I will click add. B is from what? B is a range. So I will come to range from 60 to 69. Give the student what? B, right? I'll click add. What is C? 50 to what? 59. Give the students C. What is D? D is from 45 to 49. Give the students D. What is E? 40 to 44. Give the student what? E. What is F? F is what? 39 and below. So I will come to this. You can decide to write 0 to 39 if you want. Correct. But you can also use this lowest true and say 39. It means 39 and what? Below. Lowest true means 39 and below. I call it F. Then you click what? Add. Look at the width. Width means the number of character that will be in that interval. We are only talking about A, B, C, D. So A, B, C, D, just one character. So the width 8 is okay. Then I will click continue. Then I will click OK. Then you go back to your data. So look at what happened to this. Okay, look at this. This was coded. I don't know why it didn't go this part. I'm coming. I'm coming. Okay, let me recode again. Recode into different variable. Okay. Okay, so look at no. Why will this one be F? Let me go back again. $70 true A. 60 B. Okay. Okay, I didn't use a new exam score. What I will use this exam score. What I use this exam score, that's why. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing it? What I use is exam score. So this is what I use to grade the students, exam score. What I want to use is what? New exam score. So let's change it. So let's reset it. So new exam score. Look at new exam score, yeah. So I want to create a new variable. Grade. Let me delete this. Recode into different variable. New exam score. So let's use it to practice again. Grade of students. Change. Then you go to old value. A is what? A is 70 and above. 70 and above, you call it what? A. You see, I'm typing A is not working. Why is it not working? I've not clicked my what? String. So if I'm typing A now, it's not working. So I have to click my string first. Once I click my string, I can now type A. The next one is what? B is what? 60 to 69. 50 to 59. D is 45 to 49. E is 40 to 44. Then F is lowest through, means from 39 and below. Okay, to work now. So are we seeing it? 33 is F because it falls within the F. 42 is E. 65 is B. 32 is F. 78 is A. So are we seeing how they code student result, how you can grade people into groups? For example, now let me also apply it. You can have a real life data and you have the ages of your subjects. So you can decide to grade them into young, youth, adults. So you can say from 0 to 15 are children, from 15 to 25 are youth, from 25 above are adults. So your choice. So you can also use this recode into different variables to grade and code people into children, adults, and youth. Any questions so far? Any question? So look at what we've done. Okay, we've done overview of SPSS. We've done how to define variables.
You have stopped sharing screen. Oh.
I know. I'm in the chat box now.
Okay.
Well, we have done recode. Okay, recode into different variables. So let's do recode into the same variable. So let's say after marking student results, are we together? After marking student results, I decided to pass all the students. So if I want to pass all the students, I would say, okay, let's change all the F to E. I want to change all the F to E. I want to change all the F to E. So what I will do is I will recode it into the same variable, but change all the F to E. So I'll come to transform, recode into same variable. What is grade of students? Where is grade of students? Grade of students. I'll move it. Old and new value. Change all the F. Change all the F to what? Are we seeing it? So take note of this F here. All this F you are seeing here, they will change now to E. Continue. All this F you are seeing, they will change to E. Are you seeing that's changed to E? Are you seeing it? This F has changed to E. Now, another we recode into supplemental board. We can say, okay, from a particular score to a particular score, move it to E. For example, now they can say, okay, they can say move from 39, no, from 35 to 39 to E. Sorry, move from 35 to 39 to 40. Move from what? 35 to what? 39 to 40. So let me do that using exam score. I can come to transform into same variable. One thing about if you recode into same variable, you will not get the old one again. That's why I prefer using recode into what? Different variables, so that I will still get the old one and the new variable. But if you recode, like example now, this now, I can't. Felicity is okay. I just saw your message. Can you hear me, Felicity? Then back to what I was saying. If you recode into same variable, you will not get the old one. Like this place now, you can't tell me the student that got F again. So that's why it's not most times not really okay, because you won't know what you did before, what you had before. So what I normally do is to recode into same variable. I'm just trying to teach you what recode into same variable means. And now you can apply them. So we can say, okay, let's move all the students that score 35 to 39 to 40. Because we know that 40 is what? E. They do that always in photo. So I can come to recode into same variable. I will reset it. Reset means what I did before, reset it. I want to start something else. I will click the new exam score. I will click this. So I will come to range because I'm talking about range now. I'm talking about moving from 35 to 39. Change it to what? 40 so that they can get what? E. That's the only one I want to moderate. Continue. Check now. This man will change to 40. I see this man. It will change to 40 when I finish. I think that's the only man that will change to 40. So let's look at it. I see now it has changed to 40. It has changed to 40. So this is what we mean by recode into same variable and recode into different variable. I think that's all for this. We've treated compute, recode into same variable, and recode into different variable. Okay, so now, who is with your, is anyone with SPSS? Yeah, I'm done for today. So now I want people to practice while we watch.
Hello, Chukudi.
Yes, you have a question?
Yeah, small question.
Yeah, ask.
If you want to start transferring data, you just have to click on any of the case.
If you want to transform data?
Yes, like for instance, you just click on maybe for this E, you click any of the case, or is there any particular place you click before you go to transform?
No,
If you want to transform grade of
student, you don't need to
student,
click anything. You don't need to click anything. You just come to where you just click transform.
Okay.
Then because here it will allow you to select your variable. So it's here that you select your variable.
Okay.
Okay, so I want someone to practice. We have 22 minutes left. So someone should practice. Shidera, are you with your system? Yeah, with your laptop now, SPSS is open, right? Unmute yourself, unmute yourself. Okay, share your screen. Share your screen. Let me stop sharing. So you share your screen. You will see share.
You're done for today?
Yes, yes.
Okay, please, I have mass to attend. Today is Ash Wednesday. I can now go now.
You can go now. So let me stop even recording, right?
No, yes. Allow the recording now.
Okay. So we are done for today. So now just to practice what we've learned. So she said, I want you to show us what. Can you share your screen? Click share screen. Correct. So go open your SPSS now. Have you clicked share screen? Go to SPSS. Yes, I've seen you. Click your SPSS. Open your SPSS.
They said host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, serious? Yes, you people can go. We are done for today. Okay, that means I will correct that later. But any questions so far from what I explained?
No.
You can stop sharing your screen. You can stop that.
Okay, you can stop the recording now.
Okay, I can stop now.